Also track 6. How can we crack this with a little practice? I'ma stay low like my mattress and pray like a mantis. I'm on for a hat trick. Like, wait, you know it's only right being a mixtape that we have a little bit of rhyming on here, so I thought, let me spit a few bars. Wait, you know I'm actually good though, innit? You know I'm actually good. I should actually drop a real mixtape, innit? I'm joking. Let me get into track 6. So, we've looked into living at uni, and we've also looked into how we can start to boss the academic side too, by going absolutely ape. And if you haven't heard them tracks because you skipped straight to this one, please go back and listen to them all in the sequence. So track 6. Now, this is all about the golden nuggets for being at uni. It's literally the golden nuggets. And why do I say that? Well, because if you get this wrong, your whole survival at uni will be at jeopardy. You'll be living literally hand to mouth. And it'll only be a matter of time before you see the leaving doors. And it always breaks my heart when I see students having to go through this because it is so avoidable. It doesn't have to be this way, especially if you at least consider what I'm about to share with you. Because if you do, you'll find a complete new sense of freedom at uni. Whilst everybody around you may be struggling, you can humbly hold your head up and be proud that you're not struggling too. And most importantly, you will never be poor at uni. And you probably guessed what this is about? Yep. It's all about finance. And you know what annoys me so much? This idea that students have to be poor or I haven't got money because I'm a student. I'm sorry, but that's just pathetic. And how can I make a bold statement like this on this track? How can I have the audacity to make a statement like that? Well, the reason I can is because I was never poor at uni. I don't know where that myth came from that students have to be poor. Because I've been hearing it for years and it's just pathetic and self-defeating if you buy into it. But let me stop here and blow 2 myths out of the water so you don't think, oh, look at Cody, he's showing off. Or Cody, look at him, he's up his ass. So number 1, please remember, I don't come from privilege. I don't come from no posh background. I came from the flipping hood in South London. You heard my story. And number 2, I barely got anything from student finance. What they gave me barely covered my rent. I didn't have to fend myself after I paid it. In fact, let me give you a third reason. Let me give you a number 3. I never had parents who could send me money on deck whenever I asked them to. Whereas I remember at uni, there were certain kids in my year who had parents like that who could send them money whenever they wanted them to. So if you can relate to at least one of the 3 reasons I just gave you, or even if you don't, I highly recommend you pay close attention to what I'm about to share with you next. Because I'm about to give you my strategy. I'm about to share with you how I never managed to be poor at uni, despite not having money handed to me. Are you ready? Right. So the first thing that you need to do is that you need to have some sort of money system in place to help you. If you get a loan or a grant, don't get overexcited when you see all that money drop into your account. Like, I remember when I got my first loan, I saw so many digits there, I thought I was looking at my phone number. And then I remember starting to write a list of all the things I wanted to buy. A PS3, I only had a PS2, you see. So a PS3, Versace jeans, a Ferrari. Then I was like, wait a minute, COD, wait a minute. This money's not even yours. It's been given to you for a reason. First things first, Coyote, you need to pay your rent. Then you can see what's left after that to play with. And like I said, after I paid my rent, there wasn't that much left anyway. So I had to cross off the Versace jeans. I had to cross off the PS3. And then I realised, oh well, it looks like I can only get the Ferrari then. No, I'm kidding. But seriously, make sure you pay your rent. Like, I do some work with landlords now, and I can't tell you how stressful it is when people don't pay their rent on time, or even worse, don't pay at all. And it's unfair for you to give that stress to somebody else just because you selfishly want some money for something for yourself. Like, you don't actually have to do anything I say on this mixtape. That's your choice. But if you can promise me one thing, please promise me that you'll pay your rent to your landlord or your accommodation provider on time. Can we make that deal? Okay, thank you. So like I said, you need to have some sort of money system in place to ensure that you'll never be poor and still have the money that you need to live life to the fullest. And guess where it starts? You've guessed it, right now. If you're studying at uni, it's simple. Get yourselves a part-time job. Just get yourselves a part-time job to give you income alongside studying. Even if you feel like you have enough money from your loan or your grant or whatever, still get a part-time job. Because you need to get into a habit of earning money for yourself. And then, like I said, putting that money into a system to help you manage it. I remember before I came to uni, I printed off a mountain of CVs. I still feel like I need to apologise to Amazon. And after I printed off this mountain of CVs, I hit the town. I literally worked everywhere. Ask anyone who went to uni with me. They'll tell you I was everywhere, like I cloned 2 or 3 Coyotes running around. But if you're listening to this mixtape in the holiday before you go to uni, then get yourself a job at home where you live, so you can have a nice stack when you come to uni to put into your money system. It's funny, because I remember coming back from an event in Manchester I was doing a talk at, and I was driving back with my videographer, and he told me that he was so poor at uni in his first year that he would literally walk a mile to Sainsbury's, go to the instant noodles, not no premium noodles like the pot noodles, I'm talking them basic cheap Sainsbury's brand noodles that cost like 10p a pack. He said he'll take the whole rack of them on the shelf, like 30 of them, take them to the checkout and then buy it. And he said that knew him nicely for his breakfast, lunch and dinner for weeks. But you know what, I don't think they actually did do him that nice though. Cause I'm sure them things are like borderline straight plastic. Like you might as well add some acrylic or some polystyrene to go in there with them. But nah, seriously, you want to get yourselves a part-time job so that this does not happen to you. And then apply your earnings into the money system. Because it's like I said to you in track 3, food and diet are so important to you being at uni. You can't be living off noodles like that. But anyway, let's get into the final part of finance. And this has got to be my favourite parts, and it's so exciting for being a student. Why? Because if you get this right, when you graduate, you won't be struggling or doing a job that you didn't actually need a degree for in the first place. You're going to be nice and just walk into something that you had lined up since you were as a student. And what is that, you ask? Having your own business. Becoming an entrepreneur. You have to understand that some of the world's biggest companies out there were started by people when they were a student. Facebook, multi-billion-pound company, was started by Mark Zuckerberg in his dorm room in 2003 when he was a student. Michael Dell, 1984, started Dell Computers when he was a student. And my man Billy Gates, Bilbo Gates, started Microsoft in 1975 at Harvard when he was a, you guessed it, student. And yes, of course, I get it. These are massive, well-established companies. But there are hundreds of companies right now being started by students just like you, who are using it to sustain their degrees, and it's something they can walk straight into after they graduate too. Remember I said to you my story? I've been able to travel the world, doing crazy things like doing skydiving in Australia, taking selfies with crocodiles in Florida, and winning competitions and being featured in a newspaper. So if you want help, reach out to me and let's get going. Because when I talk to students about business, I like to take them through a quick spin. It's literally a quick spin. And hopefully one day I can show you and help you too. And don't get it twisted. You don't have to have studied business at university or have a business background. I never studied business or had a business background. You know when they say, yeah, I've always been an entrepreneur since school because I used to sell cookies and donuts in a playground? Well, that could have been me, but I used to buy the cookies and donuts and end up eating them for myself before I could sell them anyway. Biggie said, never get high of your own supply. Well, I guess I was just getting fat off my own stack. But anyway, seriously, consider at least starting a business while you're at uni. Cool beans. So we've spoken about the University Benjamins. And yes, Benjamins means money. I'm not going to lie. I had to go onto the Urban Dictionary just to make sure it's a term that could be well understood by everybody. So I trust you got what I meant by the title of this track. Or if you didn't, then hopefully it was a pleasant surprise. So just to recap, we talked about having a part-time job. We've spoken about the importance of having a money system in place and the problems if you don't. #noodles. And lastly, we spoke about the possibility into you becoming an entrepreneur. So yeah, that's track 6 over and out. But don't go anywhere, because I'll see you on track 7.